Welcome to the Business Spotlight. My name is Jada Walker. I am your host for today's conversation, and my guest today is Jimmy Lai. He is the CEO and founder of Lai and Turner Law Firm, PLLC. We'll be talking about his business, the journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a peek of what it's really like to build and operate a business. So, Jimmy, welcome to the show and thank you so much for being here today. I'd love for you to give us a little bit of your background of who you are and tell us a little bit about your business as well.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me today. I'm attorney Jimmy Lai. I'm originally from Taiwan. I'm currently based here in Oklahoma City. I am an immigration attorney serving clients nationwide and globally, helping entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals and investors with business immigration to the US. I also run my own law firm, Lai Turner Law Firm here in Oklahoma City. We serve clients in all aspects of Oklahoma legal issues such as family law, criminal defense, personal injury, estate planning. So that's kind of what I'm currently doing. I'm also running a community on school about LinkedIn, help teaching others, professionals, how to gain visibility on LinkedIn and how to show up differently to be able to sign up more clients.
That's awesome. So, what is it like? Because, of course, like you are running the law firm. Oh, sorry, law firm. My words are mixing up today. You're running the law firm. So, how does that work with you also helping other businesses with LinkedIn? Like, does that kind of like does it get in the way? I mean, I'm guessing it doesn't since you're able to do both. But I'd like to know how that works out with running the law firm.
Yeah, so the whole why I got into LinkedIn was late last year in September. I realized that I've been spending quite a bit, 5 figures each month on ads, Google ads, Meta ads. So I wanted to figure out an additional avenue of lead generation so that I don't have to rely on ads all the time. And that's when I came across LinkedIn as viewing it as a referral strategy and as a lead generation strategy to kind of be active, show up there, be top of mind. And since then, I have grown my following from it's still slow, 800 followers to 9,600 over the last year. Um, so, my original goal was try to get to 10,000. I failed at that, but it's okay. At least I taken progress. But that's the whole thing was, being visible. And since then, I was able to sign up the right clients from LinkedIn and regularly receive about three leads, not three referrals per month. So I'll get messages from people who's been following me, and they'll say, "Hey, oh, Jimmy, I just talked to this person who had an immigration issue. Can I send them to you?" So yeah, of course. So that's kind of my whole strategy right now on LinkedIn. And then people naturally come to me and say, "Oh, Jimmy, how have you grown your LinkedIn account? How have you done this?" So basically, I just run a community. It's a free community where people can come in and just learn about the various things that I'm doing, and also sharing my top performing templates. There are some posts that gain 500,000 impressions, some posts that gain 50,000 impressions. So I templatize those and I share in the communities. Hey, try these out. And so members are go ahead and they try those out and they get great results for themselves and they start getting leads. So the whole purpose of, I guess, running that community, it's like a supplement to my law firm. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
my main focus is definitely on law firm growth, growing the law firm. We started this law firm back in 2022, October 2022. October 6th, 2022. I remember that day forever. That's the day we started the business. And we started with myself being a full-time and my partner being a part-time. And so
okay.
it was just two of us from 2022 all the way to today. We have 19 full-time, part-time, and virtual assistants within our law firm. um, in the past 3 years. So we've grown that quite considerably. So that's definitely my focus. And then LinkedIn is just something that I view as ways for uh, to generate more leads, more opportunities, people to get to know myself for immigration, and also for anyone that come across potentially any legal issues in Oklahoma, and they will think of me and my law firm.
I like how you're like actively in the community because it is like I feel like people don't know who to go to for certain things. And so you being in the community, it's like, I'm out here, I'm letting you guys know that I'm here for you to help you. So I really like that. That's really cool. Okay, so let's set the stage for our viewers. Generally speaking, what does your current ownership structure look like? So, because I know you just said that you have a partner, so how does that work together?
Sure. So also go back to when I first started the firm. Me being from Taiwan as an international student, I wasn't able to find a job. So my story is going from unhirable to now hiring 19 others. And so for me, uh, I was able to stay in the US when I found out about this E2 visa option for certain foreigners. They can utilize this E2 visa to start their own business. So when I found out about this is when I approached my firm partner and via text and just said, "Hey, do you want to start a law firm together?" He was like, "Sure." So right now the structure is I'm the majority owner of the company, and he's the minority owner. There's just two of us with ownership interest. And the way we structure our business is the law firm itself is the umbrella corporation, and each practice area eventually will be its own sub entity underneath the umbrella. And so we have
Oh,
so
that's cool.
instead of like a traditional partnership track to get like so we don't dilute the umbrella company, but each
Mm-hmm.
practice areas, those attorneys that join us on the partnership track, they will earn the equity in the sub entity. So it'll
Mm-hmm.
be like a partnership will create another partnership with their name on the entity itself. So they'll get ownership of that. And then they get non-equity profit share from the overall umbrella. So we never dilute
Okay,
the equity of the umbrella itself, but there will be entities. So we have several different leaders that have stepped up to lead the divisions.
that's cool. How many people are on your team currently?
19.
Oh wow. I was not expecting that many people.
Yeah, we've grown quite fast. I've been really aggressive with the growth, and there are currently there will be currently 7 attorneys, including myself.
Right. That's great. So how was it like how did it feel to start your business? Because I think I read you started it at 27 or you had was that you that did it or
No,
I may have read about someone else. I'm sorry, I'm confusing with someone else.
no, no worries, no
So
worries.
how did it feel
No,
when you started your business?
so yeah. So I didn't start my business until I was 31, and
Oh,
now so now I'm 34. I didn't start until I was 31. Uh, I was definitely spending money until I started my business because I was in school the whole time, um,
yeah.
various schools, so like undergrad and then going to law school, and then COVID happened, so going back to school for the MBA program. So definitely, I did spend too much time learning and gaining the knowledge, but never executing it. So that's kind of something that I tell people whenever they ask me for advice about starting their own business or a law firm. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I tell them that, yeah, it's great to learn all this, but the key thing is being able to execute. So for my own journey, I was learning, for undergrad, law school, business school, I was learning through the whole life, but I never executed and never implemented it until I had to start my own business. And so I tell them that that's basically the key differentiator is just taking action. And so I guess that your guys' company name, like Action, it really truly is, taking action. Um, you know, even if it's not perfect, just go ahead and take action, and um, things will generally be better than inaction.
Right. I was like, it's almost like people, it's like they're too scared to go ahead and take those steps to go forward. But it's like, yeah, once you do it, it's like it all just keeps coming and flowing.
Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense. So many owners, sorry, especially those newer to entrepreneurship, they feel as though they never have enough time. So I'm curious, based on your experience, if I were to give you an extra 10 hours back each week, how would you invest those hours?
extra 10 hours, I would invest in first understanding what my constraints are. Then when I understand what the constraints are, then I can allocate the time to blocking them out. And really, what I've been doing that frees up a lot of my time is trusting the people we've hired and delegating, elevating them and delegating those tasks to them so that it frees up my time. But to answer your question, so it's 10 hours. I guess it'll be, 2 hours a day of starting with a list of the to-dos and really working on the business, doing the planning and strategizing.
Awesome. Okay, so before we get into the nitty gritty of the business, let's take a look at your background a bit and to what led you here. So, why did you choose to go into this? Oh, wait, we already answered that. You came from Taiwan, and you said you couldn't have a job because you were an international student. I get it. Okay, sorry, my brain is not working
No
today. It's
worries,
almost like
no
it's
worries,
Monday for me.
no problem.
So, how was that transition for you? Like, I guess I could ask you a question about that. So, how was that for you to have to figure out what to do since you couldn't get like a job here? Did that make sense?
You're asking like
I guess
what?
I'm meaning like how did it make you feel to have to
Oh,
basically create your own business instead of being able to just go to like some random job and be like, hey, like I need a job.
yeah. It definitely sucks if, going through that. But I understand how, it is for the rules and regulations. It definitely sucks having the degree, and every time there's a question for most applications, will you now or in the future require a work visa? I always answer yes. Like either now or in the future, I might need a work visa. And 5 minutes later, I'll get an automatic disqualification, despite me being fully qualified or overqualified for the position. So then that's the only reason was that I don't have I will require a work visa in the future. So definitely sucks. Couldn't get into any doors, no interview opportunities. Whereas, other classmates of mine who are American, they get interviews, they get opportunities, and I wasn't able to get the same kind of opportunities, and understandably so. Most businesses they don't understand immigration. They don't want to have to spend more money on hiring an attorney to be able to hire a foreign worker. So I totally understand that. But that just fueled me and gave me the drive and determination to just build my own door and build my own house. Okay, those doors are closed and locked to me. I'm going to go ahead and build my own damn door. And then once I build my own damn door, I'm going to build a foundation and build a great house, turn it into a mansion, and then maybe then turn it into my own community. And I'm going to beat my competition. So that's like the mentality. It's like, well, it's, keep it friendly, but yeah, it's definitely a competition, but it fuels the drive. So, okay, you didn't give me the opportunity. Now I'm going to show you that you should have hired me.
I love that. I love people like that. It's like you're so determined. You're like, I'm not quitting no matter what. You're just gonna make it your own way.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so let's move on to what makes your business so special. So, who does your business primarily serve? Because I know you do immigration, but you said that you guys have other other attorneys on your team as well. So I'd love to hear all of the different options that you guys can serve.
Yeah, sure. So myself, immigration, I serve clients, all over the country and all over the world with business immigration. So some of the options are like, categories that I serve are the self-petition green cards, the investor visas, and, occasionally some family-based marriage green cards. For the Oklahoma side of things, most of our business are things like family law, people going through family law issues, criminal defense work. People, have DUIs, have, potentially criminal issues that we take care of, and then personal injury. Unfortunately, accidents happen, so we do represent these clients
Oh
to
yeah,
secure justice for them.
I literally just got in an accident, my first car
Oh no.
accident last year, and I was like, oh my god.
How was
I
it
was
like
like,
dealing with the
hopefully
insurance company?
the worst, the
Yeah, that's
worst.
why.
And I just hated the whole process. And it wasn't even my car. I was in my mom's car. So it was, yeah, it was just a whole thing.
Yeah. And that's exactly why us attorneys exist, because it's so hard dealing with insurance, and they know that they make it hard for you, and to minimize the potential, or they give you a lowball offer of like what you could have been entitled to, and that's why people come to attorneys to get the most for them. And we
Yes.
advocate for them to make the insurance company realize what you're fully entitled to. Because let's say, for example, there's a minimum policy of 25,000, and you have suffered damages, you have suffered this and that, and then insurance might say, okay, here's $3,000, and you might not know better, and you would think that that's all you can get, and you accept that $3,000 as a
Yeah.
recovery. And whereas where the attorney would be able to say, hey, no, you suffered this. My client had to go to get medical treatment and these damages and the time off from work and potentially emotional damages as well. And so, my clients deserve the policy limit, which would be 25,000. So that's the difference between getting an attorney and doing it yourself. The insurance company will keep lowballing you, and then maybe like there are some statutes of limitations too. Like after a couple of years, then you can't bring the claim anymore. So they might like drag it out and until they, oh, sorry, too bad, you ran out of time. So those are kind of the strategies that insurance companies use, and us attorneys were there to get the most for you.
Now I'm like, I wish I would have had this interview a whole year ago because this would have been before my accident. I would have just
Yeah,
been like, now I would have known what to do. Because I had no idea what to do. My mom, she's a little older, so she didn't know what to do either. So we basically just went with what the insurance said.
yeah, and I got rear-ended once too, and
Yes.
while I was in law school, and I didn't even go to an attorney, which I should have, and I just accepted, okay, they'll pay for damages for the car, and I didn't realize that, hey, potentially, even though I was rear-ended and it wasn't too big of a damage to my own body, but there might be some lingering effects in the future, like maybe you have a whiplash or your spine or something that doesn't show the symptoms immediately, but maybe later on you're like, oh, my back's starting to hurt, and maybe it was from that accident. So those are some of the things that I wish I would have done was, go to an attorney back
Yeah.
then. Also, there's something called the diminished value, which means like, okay, your car wasn't a wreck, right? Let's say your car was worth $100, and without the wreck, you could have sold the car for $80. Let's say, for example,
Mm-hmm.
but because of the wreck on the record, now the car is only worth $70,000. So you lost that $10,000 because of the wreck, and that you're entitled to claim that from the insurance, and they don't tell you about it. So I wish I had known because I
What?
sold my last car and I got dinged a couple $1,000 because of the wreck. That wasn't my fault. I got rear-ended, but because the Carfax record
Yeah.
would show that there was a wreck. So those are some things that people don't know about. So we do that for our clients. Is hey, do you know you can also claim diminished. If they're not towing your vehicle, you can ask for diminished value, and usually they get like $1,000 to $4,000 more for for their car.
That is so crazy. Now, yeah, now I'm like, I definitely should have called an attorney. I should have called somebody else. I don't know. Because, yeah, I'm like, I didn't know all of that. The things
Yeah.
man.
And I think that answers your question of what makes us different. So, you know, people generally don't want to have to call an attorney. When you're calling an attorney, it's always you have a problem, you're emotional, you're going through a struggle. So I think that's what makes us different is one of our core value is empathy. And I try to drive that home to our staff member because I would say I'm a highly empathetic person, uh, understanding what people are going through and really listening to them. So I think that's what makes us different is that even though, if a prospect calls us and they may not be able to afford us, we at least give them the time. Our intake team will at least listen to them, understand the struggles they're going through, and and then if we can't help them, at least direct them to somewhere or someone that can help them. So that's kind of, I think, what makes us different is that we try to uh, show that we are, a law firm that cares. It's not
Yeah.
you're not just a case. You're not just dollar signs. You're someone. You're a human, and we need to treat you like a human and almost like a friend. And that's like the attitude we come across. Like, hey, we're kind of like your friend, and we want what's best for you. So I think that's our
No,
differentiator.
exactly. That's how more people need to be in this world because it is like, yeah, people, they're emotional. Their emotions are heightened um, because of things like that happen. So it's nice that you guys, even if you can't help, you still direct them to someone who can. I love that because that's why I was scared to call someone because we were just like, we don't have a lot of money. Like we didn't know what to do. I didn't even like the only attorney I hear about is the one that's on the radio anyways. So I
Yeah,
don't I was like, I really
yeah,
don't know
exactly.
who
And
to
in your
call.
situation, yeah, like if you would have known with most personal injuries, they don't cost you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can call an attorney that it don't cost anything. And personal injury attorneys, they work off of contingency fees. So they take it on the back end only when they successfully recover for you. So that's the scenario where, for example, if their attorney was able to get 20,000 for you, and most contingency fees are about a third, so then you'll get 20,000 less the 30 a third of what the attorney will get, and then overall you still get more of what you would have done. Like if you were only getting $3,000 offer, but then the attorney is able to get you 20,000. Yeah, the attorney would take 6,000 for their fee, but then you still get 13,000, 14,000. So
Right.
that's
And
still a
that's
little
still
bit more
enough to
than
go
what you would have
buy
gotten.
like a whole nother car. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah,
That is so good. Man, I'm glad I know this now. Like this is definitely for
yeah,
future Jada
yeah. Well,
to know.
hopefully you don't get into any more accidents,
Yeah,
but now you
hopefully
know.
not me. Hopefully I can just tell someone else like, "Hey,
Yeah,
I know this information now."
that's
That is so cool. I'm glad you told me all of that. That's great. So, if there was one thing that you wish more people knew about your business, what would it be?
that's a really good question. Um, never thought about that. That's just been, um, I guess the one thing I would like everyone to know is our grit and resilience, because the founder of the company, myself, I'm a foreigner, and the ironic situation for myself is that I'm a foreigner here on a non-immigrant visa. So I'm not a green card holder or citizen, but I get to help my clients get their green cards and citizenship. So that's the irony. And I tell my clients, in order to achieve my American dream someday, it's first by achieving your American dream. So my purpose is like I want to help others achieve their American dreams, as many as possible. And the American dream can not just be an immigration thing. It's also for our family law clients. What's their American dream? What's their dream? Their
Yeah.
dream, for example, if someone's going through a divorce, their dream is to have a peace of mind, be able to move forward with their life, not being stuck in a constant toxic cycle. So that's their dream. So it's not just an immigrant's American dream, but it can be any of our clients' dream. What's their dream outcome? So I see our firm as achieving the American dream for others. So I guess that's kind of what I would like people to know, is
Yeah.
that this is our coming from a foreign country, the grit and resilience to stay in the U.S. to establish roots here, and we'll do everything we can to really help our clients.
All right. So this is going to lead me to marketing, which is something that's vital for every business, of course. I know earlier you said you use LinkedIn as your main marketing source right now.
No, LinkedIn is just one of the source.
Oh,
Mainly
just one of
it's
them. How many sources do
Yeah,
you have?
Google Ads, Meta Ads, Instagram, TikTok. Um, LinkedIn is
You're
where
like,
I'm
I'm doing it all.
currently. I'm yeah, like I see myself as getting people to know about our law firm, what we can provide, what solutions we can provide for solving our clients' pain points. That's basically it. Like, what are their pain points? I'm here to solve them for them. It might not be myself fulfilling, but it'll be a team of attorneys and staff member on our team helping clients solve their pain points. That's basically it. And I just do everything I can to get people to call us. And then we have a team of staff that we've highly vetted to work on our team to fulfill those needs for our clients. So I would say like the LinkedIn is, something that I'm going heavy on since last year. And so I'm now trying to figure out, all these other platforms, YouTube, Instagram, X. Well, the main ad strategy right now are Google Ads and Meta Ads. And we've also, one secret, not a big secret, but one key success factor for us is actually just asking for Google reviews. Because we have a physical location, we have Google Maps, we have a Google Business Profile, and what we do is, going back to the empathy, that when people call us, even though we can't help them, we at least guide them in the right direction, or at least provide them some resources. And then we ask for the Google review. Hey, they're thankful for us spending time helping them. And we similarly was, okay, can you leave us a review to help us so that other people can find us? So that's our top, uh, I would say the best thing that we've ever done was asking for Google reviews. The last 3 years, we've amassed 300, almost 340 reviews on Google. And so when people
Oh, nice.
search, and so I'm curious, when you search later, if you type in Google OKC lawyer, in the map pack, I believe will show up in the top three. So for a business that's only
Oh,
been in business for 3 years, if you just type Oklahoma City lawyers, I believe we show up quite high in the maps ranking. And that's where most of our phone calls come from, is just people search and then we show
straight
up
from
on the map
Google.
and then they just click on call button. So, when we first started the business, it was 0 phone calls a day, sometimes only 1 phone call a week, to now, I think we're regularly doing anywhere from 20 to 40 phone calls each day. And they're
Oh,
like
good.
incoming calls.
I'm saying good, but like good for your business, but not good for the other people. Sorry. But that's great. It's always like nice to know whenever your Google's actually working and like the reviews are actually like getting to people, because I'm definitely a Google review person. I will get on Google and be like, what are the reviews looking like? Because I'm not gonna go if
Yeah.
it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate a good Google review. So what approach have you taken to track your leads? And do you have a CRM that you like to or that you prefer to use?
Yeah. So right now we have, on the intake team, we use Go High Level as our CIM, where they track where the source is from. We also use CoRail on our front-facing numbers, so we know when someone clicks on that number, it's where they see it from. So that's how I know most of our calls are coming from the Google Maps phone number. Because majority of them come from that, and then we also
Oh,
have some that comes from their website, and then I can see how the ads are performing if they click on that. So we do that to track
oh, cool.
where the calls are coming from, so we can make the business decisions of allocating certain resources to the different efforts. And on the CRM side is the Go High Level, where they have different pipelines and stages of, okay, have they talked to them already? What's the next step? And just getting them to the sale. So the point of the intake is going from uh, inquiry all the way to signing up as a client. So that's like the whole intake goal. And then uh, on the attorney side, it's not a CRM, but it's more of a case management software that we use.
Okay.
But it also has a built-in communication system, so people can text in the portal and message to
Oh,
attorneys that way.
nice.
Yeah.
That's real cool. That's almost like what we have. I don't really know what it's called, but yeah, it's like kind of what we have, because we can like text our clients and like send emails through like this
Mhm.
one little
Yeah.
thing, and it keeps all the information all in one
Yeah.
thing. That's really cool. Okay, so moving from marketing to sales, what does your sales process look like? I think because you don't really have to go out and get anyone. I mean, you do with your ads, but it's not like you
Yeah.
go walking up door to
Yeah, we
door
can't.
type
Yeah,
of
we can't do
thing.
door-to-door sales like that. They put rules on us for a reason. They think that maybe lawyers are too persuasive, and if we go do door-to-door sales, that will sell a whole bunch of people. But that's not the case. Actually, attorneys are horrible salespeople, because the reason is we go into deep dive of the situation. We try to start diagnosing instead of selling. And selling is a whole different thing, and that's why for our law firm, we utilize non-attorney sales, and we call them intake team, but basically, an intake team is our sales team, basically. So what the customer journey looks like is that they contact us, and the intake team will take down basic information, understand what's going on, and then the intake team will discuss with them, okay, whether this is the type of case that we handle, and if it is, there are some various options. You can either come in for a free, we call it the free discovery session, which would be basically another sales presentation to go over the case. It's never legal advice. Non-attorneys cannot give legal advice, but it'll at least be getting information and then selling them on the attorneys and the law firm. That's basically their goal. The second goal they have is to communicate with them that they can book a direct consultation time with an attorney, and all attorney time are paid consultations. So those are the primary goals of the intake team, is which is to get them in for a sales meeting or for a paid consultation with an attorney.
Okay, that's interesting. I like how that whole little process goes. That's really cool.
And then from that point, in the free consult, the free discovery session, they'll present the options, and either then the clients will sign up, or during the paid consult stage, the attorney would go into diagnosis mode, and then towards the end, bring in the salesperson to present them with options to work with us. Yeah, like I said, like it's really rare for an attorney to be both a great salesperson and a great attorney. It's really, really rare. So, and even myself, like when I go into the sales calls, I don't perform well. I don't really sell clients because I go into the attorney mode and start giving out advice and start giving out my opinion. And by the end of it, they're like, "Oh, actually, thanks for giving me all the information. I can maybe do it myself now." So darn, I gave you everything. So, and that's me. I try to give as much as possible to make sure that you see the value in hiring me or the our attorneys. But yeah, it is what it is, and we'll keep kind of trying to provide as much value as we can up front to gain your trust so that you want to work with us.
Nice. It's funny because that was one of my questions I was going to ask next. So you totally answered that one. I love that. I love when guests like you guys just are talking and you just completely answer any type of question that I have.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
the best. I'm just like, I don't even have to ask anymore. So you, of course, you had mentioned having team members where possible. And of course, I feel it's important to address the topic of building a great team. So how would you describe your leadership style in business and has it changed over the years?
I'm still trying to discover my own style. Even though I've been running the business for 3 years, frankly speaking, I think in the beginning, I was more, I take more of the laissez-faire attitude of just letting things progress naturally. And I haven't been really uh, doing a great job on overseeing sometimes, I would say. And that's where I think we had to start implementing KPIs so that everyone just works based on the KPIs.
Mm,
I would say I've been, I think I've been a generous and nice leader. I generally um, and quite forgiving of the mistakes. So I really encourage team members, hey, if you make a mistake, that's fine. You need to let everyone know so that we can all come together to help you, support you, and fix it. It's better than bottling it up and then hiding it, and then it's we can't do anything to fix. So that's kind of what I
right.
encourage. Like, okay, it's fine. You make a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Even I tell others all the time on LinkedIn. I failed the bar exam 3 times actually. I didn't pass it until the fourth try. So I'm open about it. Hey, if, even myself, I failed the bar exam 3 times and look what I've been able to build. So always, speak up whenever there's a mistake, and I try my best to praise publicly as well. Never single anyone out, but yeah, if you make a mistake, bring it up so we can all come together to fix it for you. Um, I try to, people have egos, but I try to, encourage that, hey, you have your ego, but we're all a team here. When if there's a weakest link on our team, we all need to come together to make sure that we fortify that so that everyone works well together. Um, there's like they always say, there's no I in team, but there is I in win. But I think I want team to kind of be a better team than individual accolades.
I was just gonna say, I feel like people forget like you are a part of a team. Like everyone is here to work with you, not against you. Like and I feel like it's just because of how people are in real life. Like when you go out into the world, like it just kind of seems like everyone's against you.
Yeah,
But
and
it's like,
every
yeah, when you're at work,
organization.
yeah, it's like when
Yeah,
you're at work, the team is there to help you, like not to make you fail.
yeah, like every organization, I think people get overly defensive sometime when there's like, hey, just pointing this out, and they get defensive. But I'm hoping
Yeah,
to instill in all our staff members that, sure, if someone points it out, it's human nature to be defensive. But if everyone just keeps in mind our goal, our mission, our values, this is why we're doing it. If they keep that in mind, then they'll understand that it's nothing personal. It's all about what we can do to improve ourselves and serve our customers better. So that's kind of where
Yeah.
you know we it's a learning process. I'm only 3 years in, and this is my first ever business. So I won't say I'm perfect yet, but we're always learning and struggling. Not it's never a linear growth. It's always like ups and downs, and having grown from 2 to 19, we've definitely had our fair share of ups and downs.
Of course, every business does. And how would you say that your approach to hiring your and retaining team members today? How would you say like you are at that?
Um, Still learning. I'm still learning how to do that well. In terms of our recruiting, that's another thing about LinkedIn is it serves as a recruitment strategy as well, where I'm open and public about how I run our law firm, how we treat our staff, so that people interested would reach out and ask if there's a position. So occasionally when I post and I'm looking for someone, then we do hire, we are able to hire someone directly from LinkedIn without putting out an ad. Like we've been able to hire two staff members from directly from being on LinkedIn. Someone just messaged me and
Nice.
said, "Hey, do we have a position?" I was like, "Okay, that's coincidentally, I've been thinking about adding this type of person." And so we've been able to just hire without having to spend on recruiting. So that's the strategy there. Also, for our process, I think we have I'm not in charge of the recruiting as much. I only do the final approval. So we have different stages. We try to keep it short to 3 stages. The first stage would be vetting by HR. Second stage would be vetting by the staff and the division leaders who will be overseeing that particular staff. And then the final interview will be with me. Every stage they'll kick it up and say this is they approve it to the next level. Prior to that, I was the one interviewing and um, basically I'm too optimistic and I see the good in people and I'll be like, okay, yeah, you want a job here? Yeah, if I have the budget, we'll hire you. So it's good that I'm remove myself from it to have more of an objective point of view, and
Yeah,
they only get to me to interview once everyone else says they're okay.
that's good. I went through like an interview process like that where I got interviewed by someone that was like low-ish or like just a manager or something, and then I got interviewed by another manager, and then finally like to like the CEO or whatever. I was like, this is cool. I thought it was a really cool process because I've never had that many interviews for one job, but I thought it was a cool process. Because then I was like, yeah, you actually get to know the person and see how they are with other people as well that are in the business and if they're actually going to work well with those other people. So I
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Definitely, it's a higher slow when we can, and I don't like having to fire people. Over the last 3 years, I've only had to fire two staff members. But yeah, never. We try not to, you know, have to fire anyone if possible.
Right.
And I guess the why we're doing that is culture is so hard to foster, like a workplace culture, company culture, and one
Mm-hmm.
bad seed can really pollute everything easily. So like we're
No,
always
really.
trying to see like, okay, what would be great for a company culture? Will they understand? Are they the type of person that would make this culture stronger instead of polluting and kind of destroying the culture we built up, because culture is not an overnight thing. It took us years to get to this point, and I'm still trying to improve our culture.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. So you have a really interesting story. I am going to, oh wait, I skipped the one question that I wanted to ask you. Where did they go? Sorry, my notes are all jumbled up. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So let's move forward and look at what's to come next. So where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years?
I have a quite an ambitious goal. Last year, when I got some coaching done, I was told to do a 3-year vivid vision, and so in that vivid vision, I put down that by the end of 2027, I want the law firm to achieve 8 figures. So $10 million revenue is the goal for the next 2 more years left. And so we'll need to figure out how to get there for the in the
Yeah.
next 2 more years. But that's like the next goal. And in 10 years from now, once we have our law firm operating efficiently, with great systems and processes, I would love to be able to help others. So people do regularly come to me now on LinkedIn asking for advice of how they start their own law firm, how to grow their firm. And so once we have that system down, I would love to be able to reach people similar like me, where they were overlooked. They have the grit and resilience, but somehow they were overlooked. And maybe entrepreneurship is their only way. So those are the type of people that I would like to um, for them to discover me, and so that I can kind of mentor them and guide them, or potentially figure out a franchise model for them to establish their own firm. Let's say this person is in Seattle and they can maybe start their firm in Seattle, and we do everything we can to help them with our systems and processes.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So that will be like 10
Okay, and
years,
that
10, 15 years from now. Yeah,
yeah, no, that's great. I said, at least you want to help people. Most people are like, yeah, I'm just gonna retire and be done. I did my duty. So, so I like how you're still like, I want to help people even like 10 years from now.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So what I think you did just mention that you have some goals set, of course. So what has been your approach to goal setting?
I think the most common one, and I guess the one that comes to mind, is just setting a SMART goal. That's something that I think most people will tell you is just set a SMART goal. I forgot the acronyms, but it's just setting a SMART goal where it's specific, measurable, attainable, and I forgot what the R and T meant, or timely. So like setting that SMART goal, and okay, this is the goal. Here's what I want to achieve, and then um, reverse engineering, like, okay, if I want to achieve this goal. So for example, if I want to achieve 10 million revenue by the end of 2027, uh, I need to break it down, like, okay, how much is each case worth to us? And what's
Mm,
our sales conversion rate like? How many leads do we get? How much per lead? How much does it cost per acquisition? And I can figure out, okay, in order to make 10 million, I might have to spend $2 million. Obviously, right now, I do not have $2 million. So how do we scale that up? And we just break it down month by month and push it back and say, okay, in order to be able to spend 2 million for the whole year, and maybe let's say right now I'm spending 20,000 a month. That's 200,000.
hmm
So okay, how do I scale that to 40,000 in 6 months, and making sure that the 40,000 is generating the required revenue. And then once we do that, then let's scale it up to 100,000 a month. And by that point, if you're spending 100,000 months in ads, that's 1.2 million. And so that's how I kind of plan things out.
Yeah, it's like you break it down into like smaller steps to make it to
Yeah.
like that big goal. That's really, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I've like read books where like they talk about doing it like that. And I've had to like do it like that because I'm not if I don't like make the little steps, I'm not gonna make it to the goal. I will quit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a really interesting story. I actually really enjoyed talking to you. So as we wrap up, I just have a few rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So what is the key to success for you?
Grit and resilience.
Grit and resilience. All right. And then what is one piece of advice that you would like to give to other business
Be like Nike, just do it.
owners? I love that one. Okay. And then are you currently reading a book or listening to a podcast at all?
The last book I read is Alex Hormozzi's 100 Million Money Model book.
I haven't even heard of that one. I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah, he sold 3.5 million copies in 3 days and made $100 million.
What in the heck?
That's the power of
I'm
personal
like,
brand. That's why I'm trying to build out like my personal branding
yeah.
on LinkedIn. Like he built up his personal brand over several years, and in 3 days he made $105 million with his book launch.
Wow. That's so crazy. I'm like, how do people do these things? God or something. Like, I don't know. They just got luck.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this is my last rapid fire question. It's a little fun one. If you had a little bit of magic dust that you could choose to put on one spot of your business and sprinkle it, where would it be?
Marketing.
Marketing. I've heard a lot of people say that, but like marketing is so hard if you're not like really tuned into it.
And I think marketing drives the business. Marketing and sales,
Yeah,
more specifically, marketing and sales. That's the department that really drives the business. Um, I always tell people you can be the best attorney. You can be the best attorney in the field, but if no one knows about you, how are they going to hire you? So I always say
exactly.
like marketing and sales is really important, and people need to know you exist.
No, really. That's why I like doing these podcasts with people because it gets them more exposure and people start to really like see, hey, like this person can help me. So yeah, I definitely understand that.
Right.
So before we get to our final question of the day, would you please share with our audience how they can follow you, learn more, and contact you?
Yeah. So my most of my social media uh, profile, it's at that attorney Lai, THAT attorney Lai. That's most of my social media handle. It's at that attorney Lai. I'm most active on LinkedIn, so shoot me a message. You can find me on LinkedIn by searching Jimmy Lai. I need to change my handle for that. But right now it's Jimmy Lai, like JDMBA or something. But if you just type Jimmy Lai, hopefully you'll be able to find me on LinkedIn. If not, you can find us on our website, www.liturnerlaw.com, and you should be able to find my profile somewhere on the website.
Awesome. Well, we have come to that final question of the day, and it is what is most inspiring to you today?
Most inspiring to me today is I guess seeing the impact we made to our clients, like them getting their green card, holding the green card in their hand, and like kind of the culmination of all the hard work to get them the green card, and even our clients like walking away and being reunited with their family for our family law cases. So I guess that's what inspires me to keep going. Money is great, but I think having a purpose is what drives me. And purpose is to help
Yeah.
others.
It's almost like those heartfelt moments are like worth it. It's like worth
Yes.
it to see those type of moments. I
Yeah.
love that for you. Well, this was a great conversation. I really enjoyed hearing your story. Thank you so much for sharing. Also, I just want to encourage all of you that are watching to save this show and come back and watch it again because Jimmy really did have some great insights for business. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that you can get notifications every time a new conversation drops, just like this one. Thank you to everyone who joined us today, and a special thank you to you, Jimmy, for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day, everyone.